Hello, students. I wanted to read this book to you today, Mercy Watson to the Rescue, because there's a whole bunch of Mercy Watson books that I want to share with you, like Where Are You Going, Baby Lincoln, and some books like that I think are so good, written by this wonderful author, Kate DiCamilo. But then I thought, like, maybe some of my students don't know who Mercy Watson is. And so I wanted to kind of rewind in case you don't know who Mercy Watson is and introduce you to Mercy Watson. So this is one of the first Mercy Watson books, and it's called Mercy Watson to the Rescue. When I look at it, I want to do a sneak peek, right? And when I look at the cover, which is small over here, I see this very happy looking pig kind of running, like racing or something like that. And I see someone hanging out the window, but it's so small for me, I can't see it. And then I see a very sort of peaceful looking neighborhood that kind of looks like suburbia to me, right? Like, this doesn't look like it takes place in a big city. This looks like maybe what we're looking at is sort of a small town or suburbia or something like that. All the houses look kind of pretty. It looks calm and peaceful. Also, the sunset and the moon kind of make me feel good, like it's a peaceful setting. Mercy Watson, what an interesting title and what an interesting name. But if I hear the name Mercy Watson to the Rescue, that makes me think that Mercy Watson is a name. All right, let's get started. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Each night they sing Mercy to sleep. Bright, bright is the morning sun, sing Mr. and Mrs. Watson. But brighter still is our darling one. Dark, dark is the coming night. Oh, but our Mercy shines so bright. This song makes Mercy feel warm inside, as if she has just eaten hot toast with a great deal of butter on it. Mercy likes hot toast with a great deal of butter on it. But when Mr. and Mrs. Watson kiss her goodnight and turn off the light, Mercy's room becomes dark, very dark. And Mercy does not feel warm and buttery toasty inside anymore. She feels afraid. Do you feel that way too when you turn off the light at night? One night, after Mr. and Mrs. Watson sang their song about the sun, kissed Mercy goodnight, and turned off the light, Mercy decided something. She decided that she would be much happier if she wasn't sleeping alone. And so Mercy got out of her bed and went and got in bed with Mr. and Mrs. Watson. She snuggled up between them. Mercy felt warm inside, as if she had just eaten hot toast with a great deal of butter on it. Chapter 2. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy were all in bed together. They were all dreaming. Mr. Watson was dreaming of driving a very fast car. Vroom, said Mr. Watson in his sleep. Vroom, vroom. Mrs. Watson was dreaming of buttering hot toast for Mercy. She buttered one piece and then another piece and then another. Have some more, dear, Mrs. Watson said in her sleep. Eat up! Yum, yum! Mercy was dreaming about hot buttered toast, too. In Mercy's dream, hot buttered toast was piled high on her favorite blue plate, and Mrs. Watson was buttering still more. It was an excellent dream. Mr. Watson said, vroom, vroom. Mrs. Watson said, have some more, dear. Mercy snuffled and chewed in her sleep. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy were all so busy sleeping that they did not hear the bed creak. They were all so busy dreaming that they did not hear the floor moan. Before we go to chapter 3, I want you to just think about who are the characters that we know in this book and what do we know about them already? Okay, you can pause the story here if you want to and just say out loud to your sister, to your dog, to your stuffy, who are the characters so far and what do we know about them? Okay, chapter 3. Boom! A hole opened under the Watsons' bed. Crack! The Watsons' bed fell into the hole. Mr. Watson woke up. Mrs. Watson woke up. Mercy woke up too. What the? Said Mr. Watson. Oink, said Mercy. It's an earthquake, shouted Mrs. Watson. It's the end of the world. Nonsense, said Mr. Watson. But he did not sound very sure. He sounded frightened. Mercy, however, was not frightened. Mercy was hungry. Oink, said Mercy again. She moved to the end of the bed. Boom! Crack! The bed fell a little farther into the hole in the floor. Don't move, shouted Mr. Watson. Whatever you do, don't move. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy held very still. Mrs. Watson started to cry. I know exactly what we must do, said Mr. Watson. We must call the fire department. They will rescue us. But you said we should not move, said Mrs. Watson. How can we call a fire department if we cannot move? Mercy recalled her lovely toast-filled dream. She wondered if there was any toast in the kitchen. I'm thinking of this right now. I'm thinking, do they have some different concerns? Do Mrs. and Mr. Watson have different concerns than Mercy? What are they? Pause this and say it. You might say that Mr. and Mrs. Watson are very worried about what's happening in their house. Mercy, on the other hand, is just worried about eating something. While Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson were arguing, Mercy hopped off the bed. Boom! Crack! Look, said Mrs. Watson. Mercy has escaped. She is going to find help, said Mr. Watson. She is going to alert the fire department. Mercy left the bedroom at a gallop. She was in a hurry. She was on her way to the kitchen. She was looking for some toast. Do you think Mercy's going to alert the fire department? I don't think so either. Chapter 4. In the kitchen, Mercy sniffed the table. She sniffed the kitchen counters. She sniffed the floor. But there was no toast. There was not even a crumb of toast. Mercy's stomach growled in disappointment. Boom! Crack! Help us! Mrs. Watson called. Mercy thought very hard. Where could she get a snack? And the answer came to her. Baby Lincoln always had sugar cookies. Baby Lincoln lived next door. And Baby Lincoln liked to share. Mercy took the kitchen doorknob in her mouth. She turned it. Help! Mrs. Watson called again. Sugar cookies, thought Mercy. She stepped outside. Okay, now is a good time for you to stop and just think to yourself, what could happen next? What could happen? Mrs. Watson and Mr. Watson are stuck upstairs in their bed, falling through a hole, and Mercy's on her way to Baby Lincoln's house to get some cookies. Okay, chapter 5. The Lincoln sisters live next door to the Watsons. Eugenia Lincoln is the older sister. She has many opinions. One of Eugenia's opinions is that pigs should not live in houses. Eugenia often says, listen closely to me, baby. Pigs are farm animals. They belong on farms. They do not belong in houses. Yes, sister, says Baby. Baby Lincoln is the younger sister. She is the baby of the family. Baby agrees with everything Eugenia says. It is easier that way. But secretly, Baby has an opinion of her own. Baby's opinion is that Mercy is good company. At the Lincoln sisters' house, Mercy looked into Baby's window. She could see Baby sleeping. Mercy pressed her snout up against the window pane. Oink, said Mercy, but Baby did not hear her. Snuffle, said Mercy, but Baby did not wake up. Mercy tapped her hoof against the window. Baby sat up in bed. Who's there? She said. Baby saw Mercy's snout pressed up against the window. A monster! Shouted Baby. A monster at my window! Mercy shook her head. Sister! Shouted Baby. Help! Help! A monster! Eugenia woke up. She did not put in her teeth. She did not put on her glasses. You know, sometimes old people have false teeth, right? So then at night they have to take them out, put them on the side of the bed. Eugenia went straight to the phone and called the fire department. There is a crisis of an uncertain nature at 52 Decawoo Drive, said Eugenia Lincoln. Come immediately. And then Eugenia put on her robe and rushed to the Baby's room. In her opinion, Eugenia Lincoln was very good in a crisis. Chapter 6. And I'm actually going to pause here and I'm going to record the rest on the next video. Okay? So, what's going to happen? What is your prediction of what's going to happen next?